Hi guys, welcome. It's Saturday, March 5th. My name is Dave Coker, and this is, of course, Talking About Finance. You know the routine by now. 7 slides, 7 days, just a bunch of what me and my buddies, all ex-investment bankers, are talking about on a Telegram channel. So we always start out by looking at where we are with the markets, the US markets. And even though fundamentals are very positive in the United States, geopolitics takes front and center of this market. We're seeing the emergence of another oil price shock. There's mixed performance looking back at the last 4 oil shocks. Specifically, twice we've seen the market perform well, up about 34% on average, and twice we've had underperformance, about 12.5% on average. So who knows? As I mention to you guys all the time, it's best to buy cash flow generating assets, dividend paying stocks, and get rich slowly. The S&P 500 finished the week down about 1.27%. It's down about 7.5% year to date. It doesn't bode too well, to be honest. We've seen these down quarters before, and typically they rebound in the second half of the year. So we might be in for some more pain going forward over the next 2 months or so. The long run, the VIX traded up to 31.98, and the long run mean is 19. One standard deviation is 8. We've talked about these numbers before. So we're close to 2 standard deviations, almost a buying opportunity. Says he who just pulled a bunch of money out of the United States. I brought over a bunch of cash. I have assets in the States, as I've mentioned to you, properties and dividend-paying stocks, and they generate income. And normally I reinvest the income into additional cash flow-generating assets, specifically stocks. But today I pulled, actually this morning I did. I pulled the money over. I pulled all the January funds over and the February funds as well. And I'm going to let the March ones build up, and we'll see what happens there. The 10-year traded down to close the week at 1.74%. Is it a safe haven or what? Well, it's looking like it's got that behavior to it, doesn't it? Oil spiked to close the week at $114.73, up 52% year to date. So this market, well, there's 4 factors. First of all, concerns about another Russian default could happen. We're sort of pushing Russia in that direction. The Fed is engaging in interest rate hikes. We're not sure how many. Looks like 50 basis points is off the table. 25 is still a go. Although there is a school of thought that says that they're going to be doing nothing at the next FOMC meeting. Yield curve's flattening, and lots of economic data is coming out this week, so watch out. Be extremely careful, guys. So where are you going to put your money? Once again, stocks are attractive if you buy the right ones, but this is the Buffett indicator. And what we're doing is we're taking the market capitalization of all the stocks traded in the United States, dividing it by US GDP. And we can see that we're still at wildly overvalued levels compared to the .com market crash. Absolutely incredible. So I'd be very careful about buying stocks, and I certainly am. I don't buy anything, as you guys know, for a long, long time. I just don't buy anything unless it pays a dividend. I absolutely don't. The only stuff I've got that doesn't pay a dividend is gold and silver and Bitcoin. But really, what are you going to be doing with your money, guys? You could put it into Rivian. Oh boy, watch out with this, right? Of course, it IPO'd on November 10th at a little north of 85. It came up to 179.47 on November 16th, and it's been straight hill all the way down. Now, the reason we're talking about this is not to poke fun at Rivian, but we got to be careful. Amazon owns about 20% of this company. Be extremely careful, right? It will ripple on. It'll have a knock-on effect. So it's really not clear where you're going to be putting your money. An interesting thing, and this came up with some friends from my Deutsche Bank days. We were chatting, and they were pointing out how bad the DAX was doing. I was like, what? And I just had to get a good look at it. And look at this. You can see SPX, and you can see the DAX, and they're both getting hammered in different ways. And the ruble, well, everybody in the planet's getting a little bit poor. One of my friends took the dollar ruble and inverted it, and it is a little bit more clear about the drop of the ruble. It's been significant. Now, guys, don't take any pleasure in this. My gosh, God bless the Russian people. There are ordinary people out there who may or may not agree with the war, that stuff that's going on in Ukraine. I certainly don't, but they're getting absolutely hammered right now. And look at that. Look at that, the ruble totally collapsing. Absolutely incredible. Of course, it isn't much better in the States. And once again, this is right off the research that I sell banks. And guys, you can see what I've done here is I've taken CPI. CPI, of course, benchmarked at 7.5%. And I took a look at the factors. And you can see I've divided up into two things. Anything red increases inflation, CPI. Anything green lowers it. And you can see in terms of increasing it, used cars, gasoline, gas utilities, meat, fish, eggs, new cars, and electricity. And then lowering inflation, shelter, apparel, transportation, food, away from home, food at home. And that's interesting. So it comes in at 7.5. Oh, I guess got to mention this, guys. Food away from home allegedly is cheaper. I don't believe it. Now, those of you who have been on this channel for a while know that I'm incredibly cheap. I grew up very poor in the States. I do spend money, but I don't like to spend money foolishly. Took the wife out for dinner tonight. Good meal, good investment. Here's the point. I am so frugal. I bake my own bread, and nobody's going to convince me food at the store, bread at the store, is more expensive than bread at home. I just don't believe it. It just doesn't make sense at all, right? I can make a loaf of bread, and I know a slice costs about two pence or so. Sandwiches are incredibly cheap compared to pret-a-manger over there in the city. But regardless, it's one of those curiosities about food away from home. Allegedly, is cheaper than food at home. And we know that certain food is getting more expensive. Agricultural commodities. How about this? We're looking at soybeans, corn, and wheat. Absolutely incredible. Wheat is skyrocketing. Really amazing how much wheat has moved up. And look at the other factors that roll up into that chart. Really wild. And people claim that Bitcoin doesn't really have utility. People claim Bitcoin doesn't have any purpose. Well, if you're a Russian, an ordinary Russian, and you're doing the sensible thing, you're buying small amounts of Bitcoin every week, every month, perhaps every quarter, even every year. Look at how well you've done. Yeah, Bitcoin preserved your purchasing power. And it's really interesting when you think about all the people that claim Bitcoin it doesn't really have utility. It doesn't have any purpose, aside from being a tool of speculation. Yeah, I think there's some people in Russia and other nations that would disagree with you, because for those people, Bitcoin's performed really well. And let's start to think a little bit more critically about cryptocurrencies in general and Bitcoin. Now, I don't agree with everything in this chart, but it's really fascinating when you think about scarcity. The winner, Bitcoin and gold. Dollar, no way. They've increased the supply of US dollars 25% in just 1 year alone. Divisibility. Bitcoin, remember, one Bitcoin's divisible into 100 million Satoshis, subunits. A Satoshi to Bitcoin is like a pence is to the pound sterling. And dollars and crypto do pretty well in divisibility. Verifiability. Bitcoin, clear winner here. Portability. Bitcoin definitely is very, very portable compared to dollars or crypto. I've got Trezor wallets, as you know. I buy Bitcoin every week, put it on a Trezor wallet. Extremely portable compared to the gold I buy. I walk around with gold and silver in my pockets all the time. Yeah, no, there's no comparison between the two. Fungibility. So in other words, is it substitutable for something else? Bitcoin, clear winner compared to the dollar or compared to gold or crypto. Dollar is a close second, I would say, or maybe the equal of Bitcoin in many ways for fungibility. Perhaps you might make an argument that it's even a little bit better. Durability, Bitcoin, gold, and dollars. Durable assets. Crypto in general, this refers to the altcoins. Definitely not that durable. And unforgivable costliness. I love that line, right? Yeah, once again, guys, Bitcoin and gold. The one that really wins this hands down is Bitcoin. So once again, we're going to close this week by saying, whatever you do with your money, you're going to have a great week. Just make sure you do what I do. Every Friday I buy Bitcoin. I've been doing it for years. You should as well. Just put a little bit of money into Bitcoin. Stand back. It's not an investment. It's speculation. But you might do well. I've done very, very well if you go back to 2013 and think about the Bitcoin I bought every week. Thanks for your time, guys. You're going to have an excellent week. It's going to be fantastic. We're all going to make some money. Take care.